So here we have an image of the SSG rifle, and to make it in the Surviv style, you're basically gonna use the pen tool. Now the pen tool is very easy to use. You just create points, and then a line will form in between those points like this, and you're basically just gonna use it to outline each part of the rifle. Now it's important to put each part of the rifle in a different path. So as you can see here, as I zoom in, the barrel has its own path, as same with the tip, the body, the magazine, and the stock. Now you're gonna notice that the stock doesn't exactly line up with the rifle part, and that's okay, because you wanted to have a little bit of your own style to it, as well as keeping it a little bit minimalistic. Same thing with the sight, as you can tell. The sight is obviously not lined up well with the scope on the rifle. So now, let's go into layers, and we're going to create a bunch of new layers. Now each layer is going to hold a different part of the rifle. Okay, so let's just go ahead and create those layers to hold the rifle, and each rifle part gets its own layer, as you can tell. And one more. Alright, so the brush, you can pretty much use whatever. I use a square brush with varying levels of sizes, and now you're just going to start stroking the paths. Make sure that each layer corresponds to each path you're going to stroke, like this. And remember, it doesn't all have to line up, because you're going to have to space them out anyways to really get that Surviv style. Also notice that when I stroke the magazine, the bottom and the top half is missing. That's okay, because we can put it in manually. And same thing with the body. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and split them all up. And give them a little bit of distance. That looks pretty good. And of course, don't forget to put these lines in. Now you're going to notice that we are missing the scope of the rifle. That is because I've chosen to give it iron sights, like this, right here and right here. Now say that you don't want that and you want to add a scope anyways. That's okay, because when every part is on a different layer, you can easily go back and change how it looks. So right now I'm going to remove the iron sights, like that. And quickly fill those gaps in. There we go. And I've already pre-made the path for the sight. And let's go ahead and put that in. So as you can see, it looks pretty similar to the original effect. And after you fill it in and color it and give it its icon, it's gonna look like this. And that's basically it. One thing to note though is that you will use most likely a different software than I have. You do not have to use Photoshop to do this. I will show you a different design that another person made. And as you can see, it looks a little bit more um, advanced than my design. As you can see here with the more numerous parts. He created this in Vector software, but in all honesty, if you had to break it down to the ultimate simplicity, you could probably make all these on Paint. And that's basically it. I use Photoshop because I've used it for a while and I know what I'm doing with it. And I also like having different layers so I can very easily modify parts. As you can see here, I have an M16, and because I have everything on different layers, I easily turn it into an M16 with a scope and a suppressor. And if I don't like the scope, I can easily change it to something else because it does not really fit that style.